standards are to be defined or selected. Methods and tools should be chosen that provide error prevention. See, again, if you see here, error prevention is the focus, not error correction. Error detection, it always happens, it's there, detection and correction. But how do you prevent errors from happening? Especially planning is more important because you want to prevent certain errors from happening. Again, based on your experience. See, why checklist exists? Because maybe without a checklist, we have seen certain categories of defects that are creeping into the system and so on, we want to avoid. So that's why focus of planning is always on error prevention, reducing the rework that may go in, hence impacting the overall project parameters. Okay? So if you really see timely defining or selecting from the industry standard and focus on error prevention. Okay, these are some of the activities. All the plans and the standards should be under change control. They need to be configuration controlled. That also means there is also a possibility of replanning happening. Okay, you may modify some things, but they have to be implemented. If deactivated code is planned, software planning process should describe how the deactivated code will be defined, verified and handled to achieve system safety objectives. You might have put some debugging code segment, or your software may be addressing multiple cards, multiple boards, but currently you are focusing only on a particular code that has to be there. So that means the remaining, with some switches you may be deactivating. So your plan should address that aspect of how will you implement, how will you verify that deactivated code is really in a deactivated mode and somebody by mistake doesn't change it. We have seen that in many places, right? Even here I believe somewhere in the LCA also just before the air show this thing had happened, right? So we had user modifiable code is planned if at all it is going to be there, where the system allows the users to modify certain aspects or certain steps maybe, and the process, tools, environment, data items should be specified in the software plans and standards. See, that means in the plans you will need to also consider how this whole thing is going to be delivered, what is going to be made available, and how do you ensure the safety of the complete thing, how is software contributing to the overall safety. Okay, so these are the activities that you need to bring in. Hence, what we have seen is, these are the plans that need to be defined. Plan for software aspects of certification, SDP, SVP, SCMP and SQP. Okay. Now, typically PSAC will ease the, generally how in the industry how this thing is done is, the organization or what they call it from the certification point of view, they call it as an applicant organization. They will prepare PSAC, they will send it to the certifying agency for approval. That, okay, this is my plan of action. This is how I plan to do things and this is how I would like to get it certified. And this PSAC is approved by the certifying agency. Okay, maybe the international civilian kind of a thing, with focus on the US kind of, typically FAA, if we say FAA, the applicant organization would send PSAC to FAA, get it approved by FAA. Then that acts as the basis for everything that we do beyond that. Any change to PSAC again has to be sent back for approval and then it has to be followed. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay. So as per the PSAC, then you have SDP, SQP, SCMP and SCP. Okay. In fact, there can also be another plan. It could be either part of any of these or a tool qualification plan could also come into. And it could be another plan that can also be there. Okay. So anyway, when we discuss that later in the day, we will also see that. That can also be there. Yeah, so PSAC communicates the whole thing. Again, section 11, if you see, that provides you what are the intended output that has come. So section 11 of D1 template. So that's how it talks about what should be contained in PSAC. Template is not given. It only says what should be contained. You are free to develop your own template. Okay, so that's the thing. Sorry?
It's not standard template.
There is no standard. Okay. Even if we that's it. See, now you develop certain templates. Some organizations sell those templates for a cost. Okay, but what we have seen is, and generally even within an organization, even if those standard templates exist, they may have to be tailored for a particular program. Okay, so that is possible. You can do that. Okay. We will share. Let me see if I have a. I'll just quickly show you a template of PSAC. There are a number of, basically, the intents that is 11.1 have to be met. So, let me quickly. Okay, so, after giving the brief introduction about the various things, you talk about the system safety features, overview of the system. So, PSAC focuses on the software part. So, you are starting from that, then you are giving the functional overview, the level, and so all the certification considerations in terms of what assessments are done, means of compliance and certification learning, accomplishments on the independence, etc., etc. Then you talk of the software life cycle.
But sir, most of the things are covered in the software development plan or system development plan. What you are saying?
So you only tell and you say, okay, development is in SDP. This is a holding document.
That's correct, sir. But everything, these all thing is there in the SDP. So why we need a plan for software aspect of certification, which will be part of SDP also?
See what happens is, this is the holding document, top level document.
But other standard it said top level document is just SDP.
No, see, what happens, this you are sharing with and getting it approved by the certifying agency. Okay. Now, you might not have detailed the SDP yet.
No sir, SDP you are telling here is software development plan. But that is known as system development plan as per the system engineering, which has hardware also and software also.
Right, that is the system.
In that it says this also has one of the subpart of the PAC. Comes in the system development plan.
See, from there it only gives some brief introduction kind of thing, just to set the context. It will bring here. Detailing is all related to software. You give a system overview. Okay, and aspects associated with the, okay. I think tomorrow you get to study this more and probably actually you may be trying out writing PSAC. So this I thought I'll just share with you. So this is how it goes. Okay. So each process is defined, including the certification process and the QA process. Okay. Schedule and the additional considerations. You will see here in the additional consideration of the various things of tool modification related, option selectable, result modifiable, all those things are there. Okay. Yeah. So this is the thing. Now again, this template itself is not the only template, so you can have whatever. Yeah. Okay, back to this. Similarly, we have SDP and SVP. See SVP, when we look at the verification plan, so it includes testing. So the earlier testing, STP, what we used to have, it is STP and little more. Okay, so that's how we need to look at it. Then there is one more thing which again there is a stress on is related to software lifecycle environment planning. Now this is another thing, many times it is missed out and it causes concern actually. So you have to plan the software lifecycle environment for development, for verification, deployment, what is the target, the entire thing is there. And what simulators and emulators that you may be using, so on. Okay, so that's all part of your planning process. Now you may want to include this in somewhere else in one of those documents, or you may also say, no, I will come out with a separate plan document related to life cycle environment, and then give a pointer somewhere else. It's up to us. Okay. So again, standards we have to develop so that there is a uniformity across different people who are working on that. Maybe different components of design are being developed by different people or different teams. Still we have to come out with uniformity in the outcome. Okay, so that's where focus is. To disallow the use of constructs or methods that produce output that cannot be verified or that cannot be compatible with safety related requirements. Again, when we talk about safe sets and other things, bring in all such things. Or even sometimes complexity, so there are projects where you say that any function that is defined cannot have a cyclomatic complexity beyond certain number. So like this, you can define your own thing based on your experience. Okay. So what happens is, for the SQA process, for verification process, these form the basis. Whatever is here, these are being adhered to. That's how the things will keep on going. Planning process should also provide, the things like, it itself has to go through the reviews and the assurances that the plans themselves are written at the right time. That's where we say the intent of the planning process itself is taken care of. It has followed the process that is defined. Okay. So consistency again and evidence that the outputs can be traced to their activity. So, see, that's another really important thing. The traceability that whatever you have done has resulted in something. You have taken some input, you have produced the output. Now are the outputs traceable to it? Okay, so that is the thing everywhere that comes in. Alright? Okay?